Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 661 of the DrunkNerds podcast. I'm host, as always, I'm Tyler, and joining me, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
I'll tell you what's up, man. I'm still knee-deep in freaking Yu-Gi-Oh stuff.
Oh, okay.
And fortunately, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm happy to say there is. I'll go through it a little bit more detail later on, but at the same point, I am happy that it's Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy we're recording and doing all this other shit. But most importantly, I'm so happy that we went through Nintendo Direct this week. We're going to have one next week. Finally, more detail about the Switch 2 will be upon us, and maybe more. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm doing good, man. Just same old song and dance. Work has been fairly busy. Life has been fairly busy. Watching wrestling stuff from clips and all this other stuff through, from Rhea Ripley or like Chris Statlander or from Tiffany Stratton or whatever the fuck. Or even watching the random vids or something on YouTube. It's just been like that type of a week, dude, to where I don't want to delve into something deep. I just want to just play some comfort stuff.
Yeah.
How about you?
I love to whack off the crystal.
I found a soundboard on Discord, and I'm having fun with it. And Gables has been listening to me randomly hit buttons. No, I'm doing all right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry. I guess if you're listening to the audio version of this, you didn't hear that. But the Discord version, it was very funny. If you're listening, if you're watching us on YouTube, it was a lot funnier. Anyways, I'm doing okay. Clanging and banging. It's been a long month. I was telling you for the show, just kind of bitching about the day to day shit, work stuff, all that. So it's been very exhausting. Very tired. I got my fan going in the background. It doesn't seem like it's affecting my audio. Hopefully that's not the case because it's fucking hot. It's one of those things where it's like 75, so it's not that hot, but it's one of those things where it's like just warm enough that like I should probably turn the AC on, but it's like just nice enough that I'm like there's like a nice little breeze. Supposed to be some storms coming, and I'm like, man, that's better than falling asleep with the nice with that storm breeze and everything like that. The windows open, so that's what I look forward to tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm doing all right. Like I said, Gables, it's Saturday night. It's a great night to fight and also podcast and have a couple beers with your buddy. So yeah, I'm doing okay. This beer's just hitting really good. I finally got to go up, man, all week. All I want to do, is just get some goddamn Starbucks. And I don't like to drink coffee on my work days because it upsets my belly. I always gotta go poop afterwards. And I spend most of my time, out in the middle of nowhere. During the workday, and so finding bathrooms is hard. So I try to not do things that might cause me upset stomachs. So I usually only drink like coffee and stuff like that on my days off. So I was very excited this morning to go up and get my Starbies, and boy did that thing just hit oh man, yeah, I am like a junkie. I took a sip. This wasn't today, but recently I took a sip. I couldn't even wait to get in my car to take the sip. I was walking out the door at Starbucks and I went up, took a sip. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. It's just audibly just yeah, fuck yeah. And there was just a couple just sitting there. I was in the parking lot and with their windows down, not 2 feet from me. They had to have heard me. I was like, I'm not even going to make eye contact. I'm just going to keep going, keep walking. But man, it felt good. It just hit right, oh man, it was great. But yeah, no, I'm doing okay though. I'm doing okay. Gables, actually, before we get to ask my question, I'll do the quick little ramble here. This is DrunkNerds podcast. Every week, Gables and I get together, talk about video games, everything we love about them. We're just two guys. We have full-time jobs. We do this for the fun of it because we love doing it. We don't make money doing this. Oh, there comes the rain, Gables. The rain is here. It's pouring. Now I can hear it. Anyways, yeah. So I guess hopefully the power or my internet doesn't get wacky here while we're doing this. But anyways, we're just two guys. We do this for fun. We do this for almost 12 years now. We don't have a Patreon. There's no way to directly help us out financially, but the best way to really help us is by spreading the word, subscribing to us, following us. We're on every podcast service. Just look for us to find us there. YouTube is probably the best place to go. We've been doing the podcast on there. We do a video version. There's also stuff that goes up there. It doesn't go on the podcast feed. So live reacts. I just did the live react to the Nintendo Direct on Thursday. I will be doing a special. Normally I do a live react, but then I post it later. On Wednesday, I'm off Wednesday. During the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, I will be live on YouTube. So check that out. I'm posting that one. I'll be doing that live on there. And Gables, I know it's 6 a.m. your time and you got to work, but if you're able to, let me know, and we can set it up, and you can join me as well.
Right.
But I know, obviously, you got to work, and it's super early there. It's going to be 8 a.m. my time.
I
I've
know
already
it's
set
gonna
my
be a
alarm.
tough one, but it's probably gonna be one of those last minute things where if it may happen or may not, dude.
So yeah, if Gable shows up, a little treat there. But yeah, that is the plan. But yeah, so that's more reason to check us out. We do stuff like that. I've got like a couple. I have like a Pokemon card thing where I opened a bunch of Pokemon cards from Japan recently. That's been on there forever, and I've just been waiting to like upload it for like a slow week. It is coming. My God, it is coming down now. Anyways, but yeah, I'm doing. Wait, Jesus Christ! Holy shit! Did you hear that?
No.
Oh, I got my bedroom window open and the wind came in, slammed my door shut. Oh my God. That legit scared the shit out of me. I'm glad I have that on recording. Because that, oh man.
Dude.
Ooh. Oh.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. It's like, if I would have heard that, I would have thought someone was in your house.
Yeah.
Your apartment.
Yeah. Oh my God. That scared the shit out of me. Anyways, Gables, if you see someone walking behind me, let me know. But anyways, at least it's being recorded for content. But anyways, hopefully the intruder will post it on YouTube so people can see it. But anyways, like the show. I've told us where we're at. Like the show, support us, subscribe. Gables, just today, just a couple hours ago, we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube.
That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
All cheers out there. Yeah. Spreading the word, hitting those likes and just commenting. Like let us know. Little things like that helps us in the algorithm. You know, we're, like I said, we don't make money off this. We get some review codes every now and again. But we don't get a lot and stuff like that. So like I said, we don't make money. We paid a lot of money over the years doing this show. We just do it because we love doing it. So help us out. You know, we get to 1,000, maybe Gables and I can buy a couple, we might start making like 6 cents a YouTube video or something like that. It'd be fantastic. But Gables, before we get to this whole podcast is going to be Nintendo centric. We're just going to talk. We're just going to mention that right off the bat. But Gables, we have the Direct coming up, the real Direct, the real one, the real reason we're here. We do all this for the Switch 2 Direct is coming up in just a few days. So I don't want to spend too much time on it because it's going to be old news real fast. But Gables, I want to do some last minute questions for you. We'll rapid fire here, but I have one question for you, Gables. Let's say hypothetically, tomorrow morning you wake up and you get a bunch of text messages, and good old Shigeru Miyamoto doesn't understand how his phone works, accidentally adds you to the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct text thread. Hypothetically, let's say that happens. What's the craziest thing that no one ever sees coming that you find out in that text thread? That's going to be at the Switch 2.
The craziest thing. Oh my God, that's a good one.
No one's seen it coming. John Cena Hill turns of Nintendo news.
Oh my God, probably the most probably the most wildest thing is it would probably be some crazy ass gimmick for another Mario game. And not just any Mario game, I'm talking about like a Galaxy 3 or something along that lines. Or not just that, maybe an Odyssey 2. Okay. You know, this some like along the lines that's completely kind of different. You know how like I picture it in my mind as like this. If I'm a part of this text thread and they just go and they are just openly talking about this new Mario game where Mario is just like, I don't know. He's oh God, it's quintessentially the full-on sequel to like Mario Odyssey and stuff like that, to where it's not just New Donk City, or it's like a post-apocalyptic New Donk City or some shit.
I'm liking this. Fallout New Donk. Yeah.
Almost like that, you know, where instead of like, you know how it's not like say Fallout New Vegas or something like that where you have all these monsters, this and that. It's just a bunch of like all this messed up shit because apparently like Bowser or something like that got into some sort of crazy ass like I don't know, like a cult or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I was gonna say Mother 3 full-blown remake. That was
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, that would be a friggin' crazy one. That would be something no one would see coming, because not just the quality of the game itself. I mean, the game, from various fan translations and from what I've heard of and stuff, Mother 3 is a fantastic game, but the subject matter, the various like dark themes that are inside that game, even though they're not say utterly like gory or hardcore this or that and stuff like that. It would definitely raise a bit like red flags for some people, but having a full-on remake, no one would see that coming.
Yeah.
Especially like a launch title for Switch 2.
Yeah. All right, Gables. So I have a few questions here I'm going to ask you. I'm just going to, a few things that might, just some ideas I had. I want to give you a 1 through 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being guaranteed. Anywhere in between them. Just going to ask you rapid fire real quick. What do you think? First number that pops in your head. Ocarina remake.
9.
9? You think it's going to happen? Like you nearly guaranteed it's going to happen.
The reason why I'm thinking that way is because not just because of rumors in the past of a remake going to be, and especially when it comes to these older Zelda games. Like, think about it. What are the ones that we haven't gotten so far from the Wii U? It's like, Twilight Princess, you have Wind Waker, but yet there was rumored, like, not even like a year or two ago, to where it could possibly be like an Ocarina of Time remake or something of that. But the reason why I kind of feel that way is because inside the first initial year of like the Nintendo Switch, or like even towards that, like the first year, the launch year, having a concrete Zelda that's familiar for people is would be like the number one objective there. And what better than to convince people to go and get the next Nintendo system than having one of the most recognizable Zelda games of all time, Ocarina of Time. So I kind of feel like that's most likely going to happen. That's why 9 out of 10.
Okay. Silk Song.
At the Direct, right?
Yes.
I'd say... Oh, God. And that's because of all that other shit, too. This is a hard one. There have been rumblings, but
There's been rumblings at everything for 6 goddamn years.
You know what? At this point, I'm probably going to rate it like a 5 out of 10.
Oh, okay. We're going to sit in the fence. Okay. The number 400 or $399.99 will be uttered.
I think that 400 to $399 would not be. I'm going to go ahead and say like a very low, like say like a 1.
Whoa. Oh, so
I still feel like that this console, this Switch 2 is not going to be a 400 or so like dollar system. I think it's going to be close to about a $500 system.
Okay. Gables, next question. OLED.
No, that's not even the cards, dude. Not at launch. I'd say that's about 0 that we're going to see something like that. It's going to be LCD first and foremost.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be one like 3 years from now. They want everybody to rebuy a Switch 2 again.
Absolutely.
Okay. 3D Mario.
3D Mario, I think, could be kind of high. I would go with like an 8 out of 10.
Okay. NSO price increase.
NSO price increase. I'm going to go ahead and say 8 on that as well. I think it's more than likely. If they, during this initial direct for the Switch 2, introduce like GameCube expansion, then it's going to be a price increase.
Okay. Next one. Metroid Prime 4 launch day.
That's a curious one. We didn't get any type of like release dates from the last direct for Metroid Prime 4. Day and date launch. I'm going to swing for the fences and say 10 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Wow, this all right. This might be an all-timer here. All right. Mario Kart 9, whatever you want to call it. Mario Kart launch day.
You know what? In terms of that stuff, for the launch day for Mario Kart 9, I honestly think that also is going to be like a high thing. So it's going to be like a 9 out of 10.
Wow. Okay. So you're pretty confident about this. Okay. Mario Baseball.
Mario Baseball, I'm going to say 3 out of 10.
Oh, all right. Wow. Okay. Whatever. All right. Well, fuck you then. Elden Ring.
My God, dude. I mean, I hope so. I'm gonna go 7 out of 10 for that.
Okay. Okay. All right. I don't really have any other major ones out here. I'm trying to think off the top of my dome now. I had a list here, and I think I hit any of them. Any other like what's like to you? What would be like? I mean, obviously, we're both gonna buy this thing the second we can. We're gonna
Yeah.
try to pre-order this fucking thing, try to get one day and date, or as soon as we can. Is there anything that would just put it over the top for you that I didn't mention here?
Anything that would put it over the top of for
If
like
all
say
this
for
stuff
this
came through,
direct.
let's just say any of this stuff came true. What's like one more thing that would just like hold? This might be one of the greatest consoles, like maybe not ever, but like this might be one of the best launch windows ever. Or
Oh
best
my
direct
god!
ever.
If there were if in order for this to put it over the top for me, not only would not just like for the whole friggin' thing with Mario Kart or the Odyssey stuff, or the Zelda stuff, or the Metroid stuff, is if during the whole duration of this initial launch thing, they not only announce the GameCube expansion, but like as soon as the launch day and stuff, you'll have available stuff for some of the most recognizable GameCube games like Smash Melee or like fucking. Oh wait, we got access to Mario Sunshine through the other stuff, but
Yeah.
like a lot of the older GameCube games, or even not even that, confirmation of like the original Pokemon games or something being available on NSO during the initial launch. I think that would be much more likely than that, the previous one. So for say if I'm going and doing like buying this system at launch and do these fucking Pokemon games like at launch, these old ass Pokemon games for like Red, Blue, Gold, Silver, all this other stuff, that would put it over the top for me.
Okay. Gales buys a Switch 2 just to play Pokemon Gen 1 games from
I know, right?
1996.
I buy this advanced console only to play fucking old Game Boy games from the 90s.
30-year-old games. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm just looking for like I just want to me like the best thing is like not necessarily we're gonna get on day one. What's like what am I gonna play 6 months from now? What am I gonna play a year from now? Especially now it's coming out like this thing is gonna probably most likely coming out in June-ish. So it's gonna be different in the sense of like 6 months from now we're talking about holiday season. So it's not like normal. It's not like it's like coming out like in November and like what am I gonna be playing in May? So obviously they're gonna have they must have something major lined up for the holidays. So yeah, it'd be great. Look, we already know we're gonna get Pokemon probably in November. Probably the Friday before Thanksgiving, like we always do. I think like if it comes out and it's $400, I'm expecting just the one model, the LCD model, $400. Maybe there might be like a weird pack-in type thing where it increases the price. Maybe they do like I don't know. They actually like pack it in with like you can buy like the Mario Kart bundle and it's $500 or something like that with Mario Kart or whatever. And there's some dumb little gimmick thing they put into it or I don't know, Waluigi paint or something. Actually, I'd probably buy that actually. Yeah, I don't know. I just want like we come out of this. I'm like, man, well, I know like what I'm playing the next 18 months, like, and it's like a good stream of stuff. Like there's like the major shit, and then down the line, like they could do like the Wind Waker, Twilight Princess like remasters and like the port stuff like that. Like yeah, and eventually like give us like I feel like this like give me like the major beats, maybe a couple smaller things too, and then like as we're going, you can give me like these are the games that are coming. Like we just had the direct here recently where it's just like here's a bunch of like games that are gonna be on Switch, but they're also you can backwards compatible. You can play them on Switch 2 or whatever. So or you can backwards, backwards or forward compatible, I guess, or whatever. Where these games are gonna be playing. You can play them on either or. So I think they can keep doing that. They're going to want to keep supporting it. There's 150 million people that own a Switch. So you're going to like, hey, here's like, and people will treat these like Switch 2 games, but they'll also be Switch 1 compatible as well. So like there's like the rumored Fire Emblem Genealogy, the Holy War, whatever it's called. The Kirby Plano Robobot, I think is what it's called. That remake that apparently that's been long rumored and stuff like that. So I think like that stuff can come later. Like those are like nice little fill-in games. Like I think Nintendo does a good job of like filling in gaps for the most part. Obviously, it could be if you're not into any of those games. Sometimes like the smaller games, like it could be a long stretch where like last year I think I played like 30 hours of Thousand Year Door and like that was all I played last year on my Switch. Like really, I haven't played much since like Scarlet and Violet came out in 2023. I want to say that was. So yeah, I just want to I want to know like what's that big thing and like like they, what are they like? Are there going to be like? Are they going to have like Switch 2 upgrades? Is it going to cost money? Like those are the type of things I want to know about. Like how big of a change are those? Like is it going to like, hey, now it runs at a steady 30 frames per second, or is it like is it going to be a major visual upgrade? Because like these games are not like, I mean, obviously Nintendo games have never been known for their crazy visuals. So, but yeah, I don't know. That's what I want. I just want like a nice like what am I playing the next 18 months? Not just what I'm playing on day one, and not overload us with like a million things. And like I want to know what that dumb gimmick is that they're gonna like try to sell us a bunch of dumb like accessories and shit like that. Like obviously we know, but like it looks like the mouse pad thing or the mouse thing is real. So there's gonna be some like dumbass like now you can, people that bought Labo, for you idiots out there, now you can like you can buy this attachment for $40 that turns your Labo into a mouse pad or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, obviously, it's crazy. Like it feels like it's been a couple months, over like what 2 months now since they announced this thing was coming, and it just kind of feels like it's like it felt like it kind of like flew by, but now it's like all of a sudden it's like now we're close. It just kind of it feels like it's just like oh my god, it's like it just feels like it's so far away. But yeah, I mean once the weekend's over, we get the work week. We got Monday, Tuesday. I'll probably it's gonna fly right by. I won't even be thinking about it. But then like I'm gonna get home Tuesday night. And that's all I'm thinking about. I'll be like so pumped for getting up Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. my time, watching this bad boy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good. We don't get too many of these. This is like a major event, so I am excited for that to come. But let's get into it, Gables. Let's get back into the direct we had here. So we had the direct. This is basically the last Nintendo Switch 1 direct that we're ever gonna have. It's funny that it was almost a year ago. We were like, this is probably the last direct we're ever going to have. And I think we had like 3 more directs since then. But anyway, the quality pending. But anyways, let's jump into some of this here. I mean, I guess before we get, there's been rumors for a while now there might be a direct coming. I think a lot of people thought it was gonna be a partner one.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I sent you the message like, hey, there's a actual direct happening on Thursday, and you're like. You were like surprised, like, oh shit, it's like a real direct, not just like a partner direct or like a like a mini direct or whatever.
Well, yeah, it's because they've never done like this close to one another. It's one direct and all of a sudden a week later like that.
Yeah, especially like when you have the big one, like the biggest direct they've ever had. Less than a week later, but we can run through some of this. Some of the stuff is like it's a lot of smaller stuff, but we're gonna talk about some of the major things here. So like Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake kicked it off. We've got some more gameplay for this one, and just let us know that's coming sometime in 2025. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Dragon Quest 3 came out into last year. People seem to love it, so cool. We're getting that. I will say it's very noticeable that like the major, like there's a lot of like third-party stuff here at this, obviously, but it's interesting is the major stuff that was at this, like the big like the headline stuff, didn't really get concrete dates. It's just a lot of 2025 and then a couple 2026s. So I thought that was very interesting. Like. Most of like the smaller stuff got dates or at least windows, and all the major stuff was just like sometime in 2025. It's like we don't want to say it yet because it might give away a very important release date you might be looking forward to. Next up here, we can, like I said, we can run through some of these. Gable, stop me on some of these if you want to, like just tell me shut up or something. If you want to jump in on some of these here. So we have No Sleep for Konami, Konami date from AI, whatever. It's coming July 25th. Raidu Remastered, The Mystery of the Souls Army is coming June 19th.
For that one, it's kind of interesting. This was the first of a couple of different announcements during this direct where it kind of caught me by surprise because the significance is this was the first introduction of like a PlayStation only game coming onto a Nintendo system here where it was just locked on the PS2 because the introduction of this game is one of the older, more obscure Atlas titles. This is also a spin-off of the Shin Megami Tensei series, right? It's called Devil Summoner. This was like a late PS2 release. It's kind of similar to that of like, say, how Persona stuff does, only this is more like an action sort of like RPG style of thing. But having something like that just tip off of like this whole aspect of not just this announcement, but a couple others you're going to go into. It's kind of fascinating, because of just the timing of it. This is like towards the end of like the Switch's like initial run and stuff, but also in terms of the possibilities of maybe we're gonna see something even crazier or something during next week. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is an Atlas game, and I did notice that one of the characters in this game is also a character in the Persona 3 Reload. So
Yep.
that part, I'm like, oh, okay, I recognize that motherfucker. Next up, Labyrinth. That's coming July 18th. That is that Metroidvania Pac-Man game.
Dude, that was so funny. I've watched that literal trailer a couple different times through various rewatches of reaction videos for the direct, and it's so funny. As soon as you see like the yellow dot, it's like, is that Pac-Man? All of a sudden, it just goes to the whole sequence of stuff where the guy pretty much merges with Pac-Man and stuff, just starts going and just
Yeah.
getting all the freaking dots and stuff like that across the.
Yeah. Yeah.
A dark take on Pac-Man. Yeah, that's just funny.
Yeah, this is the game. This was revealed at the Game Awards last year too. So got a release date for that one. Next up here, a pretty big surprise here. Patapon 1 and 2 Replay are coming July 11th to Switch. This is a big deal because this is a Sony-owned franchise. These are already on PlayStation. Like they've already done remasters. I don't know if these are like the same games just being ported, but Bandai Namco is the one actually developing these and putting them on here. And they're gonna have like new features, like you can like difficulty levels, stuff like that as well. So yeah, that's coming July 11th.
These look like just basic. They just look like full-on remasters of these games because they first debuted on the PSP. I mean, Patapon, that was a game series that was on the original PSP. The second was like a digital-only game that was on PlayStation Network during the time, so you could only download it on the PSP storefront. But yeah, they did come out with like ports of them and stuff on. I think it's like PS4, PS5 or something. You can download and play them.
Yeah, they're on PS4.
I want to say. Yeah, PS4. Yeah. But those games were fairly fun. I mean, it's like a rhythm-based sort of like, kind of like almost like an RTS sort of like a game, you know, like on rails and stuff. But it's fun because it's like you could have to match certain things to the beat, and you can change out some of your units and stuff, and beat a bunch of different bosses. And there's all sorts of various stuff that makes this fairly unique and opposed to like, say, your average sort of strategy game. But that's the second thing where it's like this was a PlayStation only franchise at one point, and all of a sudden it's on a Nintendo platform.
Yeah,
just out of the blue.
Yeah, I think for like these smaller games like these, like you know, like I totally makes sense to put these things on. So they're also coming to PC as well. So just putting these things on more platforms is just smart. You know, like a Patapon isn't going to be like 1 million, 2 million seller. You know, it's probably going to sell a few 100,000 copies if it's on PlayStation. So putting these things on Switch, a perfect game for Switch. Put them on PC. You can play them with a Steam Deck, stuff like that. Like perfect game. And like like we're going to talk about everybody's golf coming too. Like these are like, it's kind of like what Xbox where like they're like on Switch. You're playing like Pentiment and stuff. And like Hi-Fi Rush was supposed to come to Switch, and things like Grounded and stuff like that. Like those are like perfect games to put on there. Like you know, I don't think there's gonna be like the crazy fanboys that are gonna lose their mind over it. But I think for the most part, it's just like, even if you are like someone that leans PlayStation, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. And it's like, if I have to, like, you know, if Patapon or everybody's golf has to come to Switch and PC as well to exist, then I think if you're a fan of these things, you should, you know, accept that, because otherwise they probably wouldn't happen. So, you know,
well, absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, but
absolutely. I thought was really hilarious was the timing of that announcement is actually kind of hilarious, because last week at my workplace and stuff, the occasional gaming stuff does come in, and someone had donated a PSP.
Oh, wow.
And the most hilarious part about it is one of my coworkers, you know, he hears that I'm not able to test this thing because I don't have any UMD discs, and he brings 2 of his own like PSP games from home to help me test this thing out and stuff. And one of them was Patapon.
Oh, nice.
So I found it hilarious that during that initial week, all of a sudden we just get a whole freaking thing of Patapon being remastered.
Yeah, that's funny. Good timing on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up, though, we got Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I got some more gameplay in this one. Basically, same with apparently now as a Jedi, I guess. I don't know. But we got a little bit of gameplay. She has powers where like she can open doors that look like vaginas. And she also has like the ability where like basically like control bullets and like take out multiple enemies at a time. I'm sure we're gonna see more of this, but no release date, just 2025 again. Gables, what'd you think of this one?
Dude, Dude, that game looked beautiful. Throughout the different like landscapes and stuff, the forestscapes and stuff, it really gave me the vibes of the original Metroid Prime. Because here you are, you're on top of Talon 4 during that game. There's all sorts of various like areas and stuff where you had to explore in different type of environments. For here, it just looks like a basic sort of introductory point to that planet that she's on, and like dealing with like new ancient civilization stuff, new enemies and stuff, like new alien species, and on top of that, there's some torn familiar things. You see some glimpses of Metroids, like for a split second, and it's like, okay, now how do the Metroids tie into this homeworld here?
Yeah.
How they doing this stuff? Like why is she the chosen one for this initial thing? Kind of like the Chuzo are the ones that like helped raise her and stuff, and like all the various stuff through the various games and stuff, and her learning all these different abilities, and all of a sudden you have another like civilization that has all this other stuff. And it's going to be interesting though. I mean, I thought that the trailer was effective because not only did we have a chance to see the actual full-on gimmick of this game itself, which is going to be her psychic abilities on top of everything else, but you have different enemies, you have like pretty much a full-on like retro style, like retro game style of like Metroid game and stuff. And it's going to be fascinating to try to delve into the meat and potatoes of this. And I still humbly believe this is going to be like a fucking Switch 2 launch game.
Yeah. 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 I'm not a Metroid guy, so I'm not gonna say too much on it just because I just they don't click for me. So yeah, a lot of people out there seem really happy about this, really excited about it. So I'm happy for them. But next up here we got Disney Villains Curse Cafe. It's basically like a visual novel where you run a cafe, and like the customers are like villains of Disney World. Kind of cool. Some people are pretty excited about it, I guess, but it's just definitely not something that
I
we're
thought
gonna
it
be
was really
interested
hilarious. I honestly thought it was very hilarious because following the Metroid stuff, all of a sudden you see this and you see like a Metro looking Gaston, like Jafar, and all
in.
like these beatnik looking like freaking things. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no, my actual reaction was like, what the fuck is this? This is like the Disney World in fucking Seattle. I mean, Jesus criminy, dude. You have the freaking. It looked like a freaking coffee shop type of thing, This is
Yeah.
the type of game where people that just want to chill, basically, this felt like for the ones that are really into their whole like cozy game stuff and they like Disney stuff, like, okay, this is the game you're gonna go and probably spend a lot of time into because you have a lot of free time that you want to enjoy
Yeah.
taking care of like your favorite Disney villain.
Yeah. I like the fact that like Disney and stuff with their IPs are willing to do like these cool like small like indie games. Like we had like that like it was like basically like Rayman Origins, like that the Mickey Mouse game a couple years ago that looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's on Steam. I might play that on Steam. Because that game looked.
So if you would have told me during this Nintendo Direct, not only would we get like pretty much like 3 PlayStation centric games on here, but a freaking Disney villain style of like beatnik coffee game. I mean, hell.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I like the fact that like I don't know. I wish more people were like willing to do like just kind of like some weird shit with some of their IPs out there. Because like I don't think like these things are like they're just small enough that like they're gonna attract an audience. That like there's an audience for this thing. It's not for everybody. It's gonna be for a certain audience.
Right.
But yeah, like I don't know. I wish more people was willing to like kind of get goofy with some of their IPs. Next up here, Witchbrook. This is like a kind of a cozy Witch Academy game. I guess it was announced a long time ago, but it's kind of a re-debut of it. But yeah, it's like it's like a life sim. But you can also, I guess, do co-op as well. But it's like a chill, cozy game where you're at a Witch Academy. I think this looks kind of cool. I don't know if it's gonna be something I actually get into. But I love the visuals of it. I kind of like the vibe of it, and I was like, I don't know. I was actually blown away by the end of this trailer. I'm like, this looks like something I might try. It's supposed to come this holiday season, but it's one of the things I want to wait for reviews on. That it might, but like I love what I saw of that one.
When I first saw this trailer, I was kind of mixed about it. I mean, I like the graphic stuff. I mean, Chucklefish usually does a good job in terms of the visual fidelities of their games they make. On top of that, though, I mean, life simulator stuff, I mean, I don't really match too well with them. I mean, I've had experiences in the past where I've tried out games like The Sims. I've tried out games like Sim City or whatsoever, and it doesn't generally go along too well for me because I normally get too overwhelmed with stuff, and then all of a sudden it just goes and the city is destroyed by a tornado or an earthquake or a natural disaster.
Something about this one though just looked kind of cool to me. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, I get it.
I was
It
like,
looks like something that
Yeah, it's like like Animal Crossing. Like, I don't want to fucking take care like pull all the weeds and then get yelled at by a fucking raccoon because I haven't been on I haven't turned my Switch on in 7 days. But like I don't know, something like this might be kind of cool. Next up here, I think maybe my game of the show, The Eternal Life of Goldman. Like you're like an old man that like basically is like Scrooge McDuck. It's like almost like Scrooge McDuck and fucking like Hollow Knight or something. I don't know, but it's like
Dude,
hand drawn art. This
you know
looks incredible.
Dude, it reminded me of a mix between DuckTales Remastered and
Yes.
Cuphead because the
Yeah,
goddamn
that's better. Yeah.
Goldman, this freaking Goldman game, dude. I mean, he has some similar moves to what Scrooge McDuck does, like with some of the pogo jumps and some of the other aspects and actions and stuff. And when you look at the enemies, it looks like they're incredible, like something out of a freaking 1940s cartoon. So there's definitely a Cuphead influence inside of this initial game, but everything combined with the action platforming stuff you're doing in this game, it just looked fairly impressive, and it looks like it was unique enough, but at the same point, it was surprising that this wasn't showcased a little bit more in terms of the footage of what it was, because this looked like one of the best games of the Direct that was shown.
Yeah, like the last like 5 or 6 games we talked about were like kind of like a sizzle reel. Like we got like 20 seconds with it, so I would definitely I can't wait to see more of this one. That looked awesome though. Gradius Origins. This is the 40th anniversary of the Gradius games is coming, including a brand new Salamander 3. Is coming. This is coming August 7th. So it's just a collection of Gradius games. But yeah, I don't know. I remember playing Gradius back in the day, but I was never like it was like one of those things where it's like a fun arcadey thing, but nothing I really got into.
For me, I've only played like maybe one of them, and that was Life Force. I played it on the I think I played it on the Wii U.
Oh wow.
Like I think it was either the Wii U or the 3DS eShop stuff, and it's basically the ones where you just do your save states and stuff. I enjoyed playing Life Force for what it was. The shmups and stuff. It's not a genre I like to delve into too much, but when I find the right one that I want to play, I play it all the way through, like from beginning to end, possibly in one sitting if I can.
Yeah.
But I think it's really cool though. A 40th anniversary, you have all these esteemed games. I mean, Konami's been good with this over the past couple of years to where they have the various Castlevania stuff, the Contra stuff, kind of a little bit mixed with the Metal Gear Solid stuff, I'm not going to lie. But at the same point, it's nice. Longtime fans will have a chance to have them all in like one group.
Yeah. Next up here, Rift of the Necrodancer. This is actually was a shadow drop for Switch. It's been on Steam for a little bit now, but they did announce, and this is out today as well, Celeste DLC, and then also Pizza Tower DLC as well. So I am not a rhythm guy. I like these type of things. I just can't. Gables seen firsthand me try to do rhythm, and it doesn't work well. But I have full respect for these games. I wish I could play them, but I have none whatsoever. So,
dude,
but the Celeste DLC
I have the Rift of the
makes me wanna play
Necro.
it. Go ahead.
I think I do have the Rift of the Necrodancer demo on Steam.
Yeah.
I think. But other than that, though, the game looks fun. The DLC stuff kind of looks interesting, too. I mean, Celeste stuff kind of interests me the most because, obviously, that's my game of the year from years back now.
Number 2 that year.
So it's like...
Yeah. God, yeah. Just listening to that fucking soundtrack would be amazing. Yeah, so Tamagotchi Plaza is coming. This is a new entry in the series. This is coming June 27th, 2025. I don't know much about Tamagotchi, so
honestly, I don't either. It's one of those sort of cozy games I'm not really into.
Yeah. Next up here, kind of a bit of a surprise here. Pokemon Legends ZA. We got more details in this one, showing about like kind of just more about like what you do in the game. Like you can actually go on rooftops. We got some stuff we already knew about. Like there's like zones you go into, and the main thing we learned though is at night we got a tease at the Pokemon Presents about what this was, but it's basically at night there is a ZA Royale is what it is, the tournament. So it looks like you can actually like the battles with the trainers is going to happen at night, and they'll like actually attack you like during like there's no like random battles, stuff like that. Like there's no like you like start a battle, like the battle just starts and you can actually sneak up and attack people as well. And then you start at like level like Z, you have to work your way up to A, and then at the end, like so this is probably what the game is actually the story part's gonna be about. Looks like, and they say when you get to rank A, which is the top rank, you'll be granted a wish.
I'll be honest with you. When I looked at this footage and stuff, I mean, I like the action that you're doing with the Pokemon stuff, and the whole color concept and stuff. But from this trailer, I felt underwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I felt underwhelmed is because, the combat's fine. It's obviously a little bit different than what Legends Arceus was. At the same point, I was almost under the impression, okay, this is the Z through A battle, like the Z through A Royale or something like that. It immediately gives me this whole friggin' battle royale sort of like S type of thing to it. And when I thought about it, I'm like, oh god, this better not be an online battle royale shit. And it's like, no, this is totally single player stuff. But at the same time, I felt like they showed what like a little bit of stuff, but it just wasn't enough to really actually feel like an actual good trailer. I felt like there was more stuff that probably could have been presented that made it look sort of interesting, but it just kind of just felt flat, in my opinion. I mean, and on top of that, obviously, no concrete release date. I mean, that was one of the biggest disappointments, I think, from this Nintendo Direct. It's like, for Pokemon Legends ZA and also for Metroid Prime 4, it's like you didn't get like a concrete release date. I feel like for one of the two, that was done on purpose because it probably had to do with something next week. But at the same point, God, I wish they could have done better just to present this in like in a better way. Because from what I've seen so far, the concept is interesting for ZA, but at the same time, it's like there's some aspects that kind of look soulless, that kind of look boring to me.
Okay. Yeah. The story stuff I don't need to be like crazy good. It's like porn. I just need you to just give me to the end. I just need you to help me finish the job. I don't need to know why the lady's stuck on the couch. I just need you to get to the part that gets me to the part I need to get to. And that's kind of what I need for Pokemon storylines. Sorry. It's the best.
Matching Pokemon with porn. Oh, that's a good mix, Tyler.
Why is Jinx stuck in? Never mind. Anyways, moving on here. Why is Quaggly got pizza? What? Okay, anyways, Rhythm Heaven Groove is coming in 2026. Kind of a big shock this got announced. Just also maybe a bigger shock that we're getting 2026 games announced. I don't know. It's weird, but
I'll tell you what, man. I was really excited, and I was happy that there is another Rhythm Heaven game coming out, because that franchise hasn't had a legitimate release since the Wii, and it was one of the last major first-party games released on the Wii. Dude,
okay.
that's a freaking that's one of those games that's rare for the Wii, because it's like it was a short print sort of a game, because it was one of the last released on that system. And the thing about the Rhythm Heaven games is there's a bunch of quirky, like crazy mini games that you have to match rhythm and stuff with. So for one, they showed where you could just jump in time and stuff like that with the little guys and stuff. And then you see the one, there's like one where just bouncing stuff off the guy's biceps from one thing to the rhythm of this stuff. It's pretty much one of those kind of things to where it's sort of like WarioWare, but it's just matching with a rhythm.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just like, hey, like it's kind of like almost like remember like Nintendo Forever was saying, we're still supporting the 3DS, and they're still putting games out, but like there was like games no one wanted to buy and stuff like that. I'm not saying no one wants to buy these things, but like we were definitely like these are like the smaller things. Like like there's gonna be like an audience that's gonna be there for them, but they're not like it's not like there's not gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be like this is gonna sell millions of units. It's gonna be like something that's like probably gonna sell a few 100,000 copies, which for them is probably what they want and be great. But yeah, I think this is like probably like. For like Switch 1 games, this is probably like the best you're gonna get if you're not gonna have a Switch 2 the next year or so.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, and this is probably just like I said, their way of showing hey, we're still supporting this thing in 2026, so you can still buy a Switch, or don't sell your Switch yet, type of thing. Next up, Gables, maybe one of the more baffling things to happen at this thing. Virtual game cards is the thing that's happening. We got like a long, like 3-minute video explaining for no reason how you put a card into your Switch and then take it out. They basically explained ejecting to us, unloading, and then they talked about how like they're basically going to make it easier for you to like share games if you are someone that owns multiple Switches, like maybe you own like a Switch Lite or whatever. Like they're trying to make it streamline a little bit for you to be able to like play games back and forth between these platforms. And also one thing they're doing, and this part is you have to be like under the same Wi-Fi for this to work, but basically it's kind of like almost like a family sharing type of thing where say like you have 2 kids and you only want you only have you don't want to buy 2 versions of the same game. You can like you say Super Mario Wonder or whatever, If you have it digitally,
Mhm.
you can, if one kid has it on their Switch, you bought it on that Switch, they can loan it to the other kid on their Switch for 14 days. But during that time, the other kid cannot play the game, the one that loaned it. But then, like I said, after 14 days, it will automatically go back. But like that kid can, like, say they're going to go away for a weekend, or they're not going to be under the same household or whatever. That kid could still play it for 14 days without checking in online. But if eventually, like after 14 days, they lose access to it. So basically, just a way of like, hey, it's like, I don't know. It's like they kind of like they try to like jazz up a way of saying, hey, you can just kind of, there's a weird Nintendo way of sharing your games, and also I think it's a way of like, hey, like, I think pushing digital as well, where it's like, hey, like I'm sure a lot of people buy physical. We see like Nintendo is by far the most when it comes to physical games sold, but like even they're now like I think close to 60% digital at this point, and they're probably like trying to push more towards that. And I think there's a way of like, if you're a parent out there and you want to buy, when you buy your games for your kids, like, hey, you don't have to go out to the store and buy one so they can easily swap it. Like, hey, now you can buy it digitally, and you can still kind of swap it in a roundabout way. So this is like their roundabout way of doing it. What did you think of this, Gables?
Well, after having a lot of time thinking about it and rewatching that initial explanatory stuff that Nintendo was trying to get the point across, I kind of feel conflicted about this. And it's not because of the fact that you can lend games out to people and stuff, like say within like say your family members, or switch it between one Switch or another. It's the fact that this kind of ties into the whole thing of like one common theme, and that is you're able to do this inside of your initial account, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like every example they did, there was a tie-in to like say this one account, whether it be the person's like individual account or their family account or something. So obviously if you have like they know that people have bought multiple Switches, right? Or in this case, for people to just have a Switch and may potentially buy a Switch too, yeah, this is definitely probably one of those ways to where you're going to easily be able to transfer some of your games from like one system to another, from Switch to Switch 2. But whether it be the switching of like say moving games between two Switches, or lending it out through a family member, or whatever in that case and scenario and stuff, it kind of brought a question to my mind, is like, why initially would they go ahead and do this? And I think you touched a point in terms of they want to get people to buy more in terms of digitally, and instead of like just go and just buy a physical copy, lend it out for 14 days and this and that. This also led me to the question of, is this Nintendo's way of locking certain like physical games like onto a specific account, unless, for example, in order to stop them from say reselling the physical cart?
I don't know.
Or
This was strictly they're calling this the virtual game cart, so I don't think it has anything to do with that.
yes.
I think this is strictly
Yes.
just digital. So I don't see them doing the DRM shit. Like I think this is just like there's like people have complained forever about the way that like Nintendo does things, because it's Nintendo and they always do dumb things with their tech. About like
Right.
like you've talked about, you've like even like trying to like put something on your Switch Lite, or even though it's the same account, whatever. But I think it's just like
Yes.
it's their weird, over like complicated way of saying, hey, they're still stupid, but they're slightly better now. So
And that's what makes it even more confusing, because for someone like me and stuff, the natural thing I interpreted is like, okay, maybe this is some sort of ploy way or something to get people less buying their physical content and just stick directly towards the digital stuff, and like maybe these Switch 2 cards that are probably going to come into effect will have maybe some sort of factor that could potentially maybe lock on to certain like accounts, or like just certain things that you buy it from. But at the same point, I mean, this is overly complicated.
yeah,
I understand the concept. You want to seamlessly switch, like transfer one game content to the other without having to connect online, because the biggest problem when you playing games on the current Switch is if there's no online, and you try to play a certain game and you can't because it needs some sort of like connection to the internet in order to play a single player game, then yeah, it's not. It's definitely a frustration.
Mm.
Even if, like, say for the certain apps like the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, 64, etc., you have to at least connect online and stuff to do the authenticity and stuff. But for initial digital game stuff, yeah, that's happened for me before on like single player stuff. And like what you were saying previously, when I've done like say have like account stuff through like a Switch and a Switch Lite, that has also occurred as well. Because I'd be trying to play the stuff on the second Switch, and then I couldn't because I wasn't connected online while my other Switch was on.
Yeah.
It was fucking ridiculous. So in terms of that problem, they did rectify with this current update that's going to be coming out in late April.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the way they explained it and the way that they visualized it, I thought made it completely stupid and also in terms fairly confusing.
Yeah.
Because all you had to say is, hey, this is the digital game card. This will help you swap your information between one Switch to the other, and then just like
You didn't need to learn how you would eject a game out of your Switch 8 years into the Switch life cycle, Gables.
exactly. I know, right? It's
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I know, right? It's
Yeah, I don't know. I think this was like their way of like hey, like show this to parents and kids to like, hey, like try to simplify it to like
yeah,
people that like parents that don't pay, like they just buy their kids Switches. They're not big gamers, or they're just the average gamer where like they're not watching directs, they're not paying attention to the news, and they just like you could put this video on for them and explain it to them. But I think they just made it overly complicated. So like somebody out there
yes,
will make a better video once this thing is actually out.
absolutely.
Someone will make a better, easier video for people to use, and that's I don't know.
And on top of that, this is only gonna affect like certain subsets of people like that have invested inside the Nintendo ecosystem, and that is the ones that have multiple Switches, the ones that have family accounts and stuff like that. And also it's gonna be the ones that are like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to go ahead and like just have all these different carts or something like that going through here.
Yeah.
Now all that information's already stored on my Switch, and I can just load this up on the initial firmware.
Yeah.
And that's where that kind of confused me, because it's like if you bought like a couple of Switch 2 games, right? And that initial content is already loaded inside your system without needing a physical game card, and then all of a sudden you load that and start playing that, that's what kind of felt like to me this could be a potential, okay, lock to a certain account.
Yeah. No, I think it's just like I don't know. Like I said, it's just it's slightly better, but still dumb.
Agreed.
Yeah. Moving on here though, Saga Frontier Remastered was announced. That is out today. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots was announced. Like I said, we talked about this was and their PlayStation owned IP, Bandai Namco, is making this one as well. I don't believe we got a release date for this one. I'm trying to like figure out, because I keep seeing people saying this is a remaster of a Vita game, but some other people are saying this is a new one. So yeah, I don't know. I loved Everybody's Golf on PS4. I got really into it for a while, and I'm down for another one of these things. Like I like
it's a good golf game.
Yeah, like I I played like the Mario Golf games are just kind of like content very content light, and I don't know.
Yeah.
And then like I don't really care for like PGA Tour. It's like a little too realistic. I just need like this. This is kind of like right in the middle. Like there's a lot of like it's goofy enough. Maybe it doesn't have the major IPs that you want in like Mario and stuff, but like it is goofy and like not serious enough, but it's also good enough, and there's enough content to kind of keep me wanting to play more. So I am, as long as they don't have like all the there's like a ton of like DLC and shit in the other one. As long as they don't have like a ton of like that, and they kind of take a step back from it, but like yeah, this will probably be like a day one buy for me.
I will say though, it's like for this game, it really feels like this is the kind of quality golf game that the Switch kind of needed. I mean, Nintendo hasn't really hit the mark on Mario Golf since like the GameCube, in my opinion.
Yeah, that last
Toadstool
one.
Tour was the best.
Yeah, I like the one on 3DS, but they had that weird
That was
thing where
good too.
yeah, they had like, but you could buy the $30 edition, but really you needed to just buy the $40 edition. But
Oh, God.
yeah, they did that weird thing that I'm like, please never do this again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm down for that. I can't wait for that to come out. But yeah, it's like kind of my rough thing I want to say about like the direct in a whole. We got more to talk about, but like it's kind of like the last handful of directs. Like there's a lot of good games in here, like a lot of great games on paper, but it's like cool. I'm gonna play exactly 0 of these on the Switch. I'm gonna play these on Steam Deck or on PlayStation or on Xbox. I'm gonna play them somewhere else. So it's like, and that's kind of the way, like all like it's just like there's been all these like really great like indie worlds and like Nintendo partners games and stuff. And it's just like cool. I can't wait. Like, oh, this is coming to Steam. Perfect. Oh, it's coming to PlayStation and Xbox as well. Perfect. I'm gonna play them there. And that's kind of the way I am now. Like when I look, because like I have 0 interest and play my Switch. Even when the Switch 2 is out, I don't know. I'll probably still play them elsewhere. Especially if they're gonna be like online games. Speaking of online games, Gables. Next up, actually, now I think about it, this is probably my game of the show. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This is from .emu is publishing this one. This is the same team that actually made the Shredder's Revenge game, one of your favorite games from a few years ago.
Yep.
So this is you can play it single player up to 4 people. There'll be local and I believe they said online as well. But yeah, I think there's gonna be 8 different characters. They have like Spider-Man, Venom's in there, Captain America. I think Vision was one as well, and a couple. I think there's a couple others they showed as well, but Storm is in there as well. But yeah, this looks incredible, and I cannot wait. This is definitely a day one buy.
Dude, I'll say this right now. This definitely felt like the sequel to the X-Men arcade game, dude, because it's similar characters, similar type of style and stuff. It seems like .emo, dude, they freaking have nailed it in terms of source material for these beat 'em ups. It seems like almost every beat 'em up they put out, it's of excellent quality. Yeah. Obviously, the Shredder's Revenge was the #1 thing. I mean, I absolutely love it. I got multiple systems, and this is shit, dude. But for this one, holy crap. This has probably been the most interested I've been in trying to playing a Marvel game in quite a long while. And man, I mean, the gameplay looks fast and furious and stuff. You have team like combos. I mean, you have familiar enemies. I saw Taskmaster there, Captain America being like facing off against Taskmaster. I saw Venom and Spider-Man and stuff, and it looked like Nova, I want to say.
Yeah, Nova was one of them. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah, I saw Nova. But yeah, dude, this has, God, I just wish this would have released sooner, you know? It's like holiday this year. I mean, come on. Come on, dude. I mean, I want to play this
I want
game
this
now.
today. Or like
exactly
next week. Yeah. No, that it looks incredible, and I love that, and it's just crazy. Like, like how it's funny. I was thinking about this when I announced this was like, I remember when we played Shredder's Revenge. I remember on the very next podcast we were talking about. I'm like, man, imagine if they were able to get a hold of the X-Men arcade game and bring it to modern day, and even better, we're getting a brand new X-Men game, or Marvel game rather. So, yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, I mean that was like what 4 years ago. So yeah, I'm pumped for this. So I'm gonna take credit for that one. And then the last game that was revealed, Tamagotchi Life: Living the Dream is coming. I thought this was like Animal Crossing for a second, but then it's actually just Mies, and there's that crazy person that like walks up to you that's like that crazily. It's like giant and starts talking to you. This is the first entry, I believe, since DS, I want to say, or maybe 3DS.
Yeah,
that is
Tomodachi Life, I think, came out on 3DS, so this was a 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's coming in 2026. This is not a me thing at all, but I've seen there's those freaks on the internet that are super pumped for this one.
Dude, when they revealed the one more thing, like for their last game announcement and stuff, and you see the landscape, and you see the freaking little person on the thing farting and stuff, and I immediately knew what this damn thing was, and as soon as the title popped up, I just started laughing my ass off, dude. Not an excitement laughter, not like a hand-pumping, like a fist-pumping fucking thing like I did with Marvel Collection, or not like overly excited stuff for like I would normally do for something really excited. It was just a laughter. I'm like, why the fuck did you show this at the end?
Yeah.
This is the most underwhelming shit I have ever seen. Yeah. And this made me fucking sad inside, because that's the final game that they put for their fucking Switch. It's like, of course you would put it on last. I'm like,
the last thing of the last Switch 1 Direct.
Dude, I would have been more accepting if they would have put the Metroid Prime 4 information on the very last damn thing, dude. I would have had it that way and switched it with the Tomodachi Life, and I wouldn't have gave two shits about the Tomodachi Life. I would have said, "Oh, okay, this and that." But I see the end, the last announcement, and I'm like, "Oh my god, dude!" And the first thing I thought about was you, obviously, because here's one. Here's one of the reasons
What did
why.
I do?
It's not what you did in specific and stuff, but how much you hate Metopia and how much you
Yes.
hate like stuff like that. And when I saw that, I mean, like, oh my god, he's got to see this. I got to see Tyler's reaction to
I thought it
this.
was Metopia
And
too. I was genuinely concerned.
when you asked me, it's like, is this worth watching? I'm like, yes, it is. And
You made me.
it was the entire reason.
You
It was
fucking
this
asshole.
last thing.
You did that. You as a prank to me. You made me. You knew I got off like, super late Thursday night, and like I hadn't ate dinner. I didn't eat dinner until like 9:45 Thursday night because I got off so late that I'm like, is this worth? Like I just got home. Is this worth live react to? Gables is like, I think it's worth it. I'm like, all right, man, this must be good then. And this is the reason why you made me do a live react. I didn't eat dinner until nearly 10 o'clock at night, so you can watch me live react to this shit.
Dude, it was fucking entertaining. The moment you see it, you're like,
Like that guy just.
but
hurt.
you did like a couple of different things from that direct, though.
Yeah, Mike, you're a fucking asshole. God damn it, I can't believe this. Wow. I hate this man.
Well, I gotta pull the occasional prank.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, that's a good
Still.
one. I can't be mad about it, I guess. Yeah, that was a good one. I was legitimately, I'm like, are they really gonna end this with Metopia too? That was kind of what my head was. My brain was going to.
Dude, it's the biggest disappointment for a fucking ending that they've had in such a long time doing a direct, dude.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like the final thing they did during this direct, but it was the final game announcement
Yeah.
for the Switch.
Yeah. I mean, I think like this being here is not a problem. Yeah, being the last thing. This really felt like
Being the last thing, yes.
Yeah, like this felt like a direct, whereas like they really didn't have anything major. So I almost feel like they just shoehorned in the Pokemon Legends and the Metroid Prime 4 thing and the Drag Quest thing.
Yeah.
They like shoehorned them in there to like spruce it up a little bit because like, man, this is nothing. Like there's like this is like the hardcore of the hardcore of like some of these we're talking about like, and like I said, I'm not talking shit. I'm not trying to kink shame people's interest in video games here. But like this is like, yeah, we're talking about like Rhythm Heaven and like Tomodachi Life coming back. Like this is like the level we're talking about. This really feels like we're like in like the 3DS era post Switch.
Yes.
This is like we're in it, and like this is what we're getting. Yeah, I mean the best stuff as usual is the third party stuff, and it's like I said, it's gonna be all stuff that's coming elsewhere. I'm gonna play it elsewhere. So, wow, man. Okay, I can. Gables, I'm really happy you waited for the show so you had my reaction live for that one. But at least, like if you're gonna prank me, at least make it content. That's my one rule in life. But I'm just imagining Gables just laughing as he's typing. I think it's worth it. And then the last but maybe least, Shigeru Miyamoto with the rare appearance. Gables, it's always really exciting. We all love Shiggy, and is him accidentally adding you to text threads. We all love him. It's always a treat when he shows up, but usually when he shows up, you're expecting something big. And you want to know the last time, Gables, he showed up at a direct? Do you know what that was?
I think it was for the Mario movie, wasn't it?
That was the second to last one. The last time, when it was really a big deal, I'm like, oh my god, Shiggy showed up. It was for Pikmin Bloom.
Oh my god.
Do you remember Pikmin Bloom?
That's right. No, I don't. But now
it was the Pokemon Go Pikmin game. They like that. I don't even know if it's still going.
Oh my god, it came and went, dude.
Yeah, it might still be going. I don't know. Saudi Arabia owns it now. But anyways, Shiggy showed up. I'm like, oh my god, is it going to announce something? Park? Is it going to be the Mario movie is coming next year? Are they going to like give us some more updates? Is he going to tell us how cool Chris Pratt is again? Like what is who's playing the voice of Waluigi? I don't know. Anyways, Gables, we were getting a Nintendo app, another one, called Nintendo Today, where every day there's going to be one update, one post from Nintendo. So that's the thing. And they did also come off hot on the next day, the first day with it, where they gave us the release date for the Zelda movie. So I guess they gave us something. Yeah, that was exclusively on the Switch app. They didn't post that. I think they eventually, like 12 hours later, posted it on social, but like they're like, I don't know. And then it's technically Sunday here as of recording this. It is at 12:51 on Sunday my time. I'm gonna open up today and see what it is. This is gonna be a live react to what it is. It's a picture of Super Mario 64 of Mario flying with the wings.
That's it.
That's it. And it says enjoy your day.
No blurbs.
Nope, that's it.
Just enjoy your day.
Just enjoy your day.
Dude.
I'm not lying. That's the post for the day. If I scroll down one, I do get a picture of Zelda from Zelda 2. I believe that is. Is Zelda 2?
Yeah.
Okay. That's.
I think that's Zelda 2.
I don't know. But anyways, that is the post of the day for Sunday, March 30th. It is my best son's birthday. He's 36. I'm gonna have to text that old fucker, but he's 36 now, so he probably went to bed about 9 hours ago. So but yeah, that was the one last thing, Gables, for the for the Direct. Thoughts on Nintendo today and the overall Direct?
All right, so there were some high points for this Nintendo Direct.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the various remasters and stuff will be hit or miss for people based upon like what their interests were, like for hardcore Atlas fans, the remaster for Devil Summoner, that was a welcome sight. For those that liked Romancing Saga or some that obscure Square Enix RPG and stuff, I mean, they have the second one that just stealth dropped randomly. For the people that like the cozy games, I mean, you had the Tomodachi Life, and you also had the friggin' oh my god, then you have like the Tamagotchi sort of stuff, and then you have that freaking Disney coffee game.
Yeah.
And then a
lot of rhythm games.
And then for like, say for us and stuff, we had the fighting game from like the .emo stuff, and the Goldman stuff, because those two were like the best things that came out of that initial Direct.
Save the Direct.
Everything. I'll be honest with you, man. Even with the Rhythm Heaven stuff, which I did like the introduction of that, this still kind of felt like a meh Nintendo Direct, dude. And ending it like with the Tomodachi Live, and on top of that, the Nintendo app that's just basically Nintendo's idea of like posting to social media without having to go onto X.
Yeah. So I guess
or Blue Sky.
Yeah, or Blue Sky, or Facebook, or Instagram. I don't know.
Dude.
8chan.
I mean, I get it. We have the Switch 2 Direct like less than a week from now, dude. On like this coming Wednesday, and like. This is how this initial thing ended. I mean, obviously, people are going to like this more or like this less based upon what we're getting, and I kind of felt like this was maybe at most a 6 out of 10, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the main thing is, like, always, like, you come out of this with a few things you're looking forward to, and there's definitely that, like I said, there's a Marvel there's a Marvel game, the beat 'em up, there's Everybody's Golf, the Eternal Goldman Sachs, whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called.
Goldman Sachs.
I don't remember what it was called.
If they would have just introduced the title as like The Adventures of Goldman Sachs and stuff, and you see this old man do that shit, that would have been so fucking perfect.
This is the content you get at 1 o'clock in the morning from me. I'm very delirious right now. But yeah.
God damn it. If I have a chance to name my freaking profile, I'm just gonna put in Sachs and stuff in there. Just fucking
SACHS. Yeah, Sachs. But anyways, yeah, that's I don't know. There was a handful of things that came out of it that were pretty good. But yeah, it's like nothing major, like in like the big stuff that was there. It was just like there was no release dates, it was like no new information on it. It's like cool, we got like a little bit more gameplay, I guess. Metroid can open vaginas, which I mean, good for you, But anyways, yeah, I thought yeah, I'm probably with you, like a 6 out of 10 type of thing. But it definitely feels like this is just like they had a lot of agreements they made with partners out there, like, hey, we're gonna put you in a direct. And it's like we kind of like one of these like contractually obligated directs they had to do that we've seen from time to time, where it's just like this could have been an email situation, and this kind of felt like this could have been an email situation. It's whatever. I mean, it's it wasn't awful. It wasn't a complete waste. There's definitely been worse directs. There's definitely been worse video game events. So this is far from the worst. But yeah, definitely far from the best. But definitely was like this is like the like if you're like there for, like waiting for the main event, this is like the like the pre-show or whatever of like a big event, like the thing to warm up the crowd, I guess, before the main thing. And yeah, that's what it was. So but yeah, 6 out of 10. I agree with you, Gables, on that one. But anyways, let's get in, I guess, what we've been playing. I have really not been playing much this past week. I played like 5-6 hours of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I've been just incredibly burnt out mentally, physically from work. And I'm just like, I am not in a mental place to be playing. Try to jump into a 60+ hour game right now is probably not best for me right now, because it's one of those things where like, that's when I have no time during the work week to play video games, because I have no time after work to do anything. And it's like, it's one of those things where like, if I want to actually get in this game, I literally have to spend my whole weekend just playing it to like get anywhere. So I'm like, I always talk about all the time, like you heard me talk about it, like sometimes the game just hits in the right time and place. And I feel like Assassin's Creed Shadows is not hitting me in the right time or place. Like for just time and stuff like that. It's like just from a time standpoint, I'm like, I need to jump into this later. So I'm probably gonna like put this in the back burner for right now. And then when there's like, I don't know, when things are a little slower, maybe like work wise or like game release wise, I'll jump into it. But I'm just looking, I'm like, there's a few games, there's like 4 or 5 games coming out in April that I want to play. They're gonna be a lot smaller, and I'm like, maybe these are the type of games I want to jump into. Like they aren't gonna be so daunting to me right now. And then maybe like, I don't know, in like the summertime or whatever. Look, I'm just looking right now, like April and May, and June's probably gonna be pretty nuts, because assuming the Switch comes, stuff like that. Like, I don't know, maybe July. I'll jump in July or whatever. But yeah, I am just not in the right mental place for this game right now. But yeah, I like what I played of it. It's like it's no fault of the game. Like the combat feels really good. The game is absolutely gorgeous. Music, Assassin's Creed, the music, Assassin's Creed is awesome. Japan is absolutely stunning. But it's just like, this is not something I want to delve into right now. It's like, I don't know. It's like, do I want to watch, like, I got 45 minutes. Do I want to watch an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine before I go to bed, or do I want to watch 1/5 of Lord of the Rings? It's like, I'm just gonna watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now. Like you talked about Gables earlier in the show, I was like, I just need junk food right now. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just need junk food. Yeah, Gables, what have you been playing, buddy?
All right, so to continue on with the now almost an entire month's worth of like a saga of me playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like Legacy of the Duelist Link evolution, dude. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Let me just say this. Before I started playing this campaign, I didn't know I was going to want to try to go and play through the entirety of it. I did the regular duels for every single series in terms of the regular way, but the reverse duels add in even more stuff. And I counted it, so for the single player aspect of this campaign, without doing the duelist challenges and this and that, it comes up to exactly 356 duels, right? And so some of these duels can last between like maybe 5 minutes and maybe 15, based upon how many, like what type of situation you get yourself in terms of what deck you're using and what your opponent is using. So let me tell you something. I think last week I said I completed the entirety from regular then reverse duels for V Reigns, and I think I did it for like Arc V as well. Well, I completed the Zexal stuff, and I completed the 5D stuff. So the Zexal stuff's like the XYZ summoning monsters instead of that stuff, and the 5Ds is like the synchro summoning of monsters. So basically, every single arc of this campaign is some form of like new features that are introduced through every generation. So for the original Yu-Gi-Oh, it's just the basic how to play and like the basic summoning of ritual monsters or fusion monsters or whatever. Then GX is more so of like the fusion and like some of the other stuff, all the way up to like, say, the last one, which is V Reigns, that focused directly up on Link monsters and how you summon those things. And I'll tell you, this trip has been pretty interesting in some aspects. I got completely frustrated last week because of going and facing off against some of these Link monster themed decks and stuff that I've never had a chance to do before, and discovering how utterly broken some of these features are for some of these cards. When you're able to summon a monster and then all of a sudden that monster gets destroyed and sent into the graveyard only for it to come back because of a combination of certain spell effects or certain other monster effects, it's like what I said last week. When you go into your main phase, like say, let's say it's your turn, like you set a card and then like in face down defense, and you set a spell or trap face down, you end your turn, and then all of a sudden your opponent's like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use these two spell cards in order to take these two cards out of my deck and then put them out of play. Then I'm gonna go ahead and summon this monster to special summon this monster from my deck to go from here, and all of a sudden this triggers the effect of a link monster to go and combine together to put a link thing, and then that is a chain reaction upon a chain reaction, and then all of a sudden your board is completely wiped, and all of a sudden you're like killed within first like one turn. I'm like, what the fuck just happened here? But I had that happen to me once in the entirety of like say the 70+ hour fucking gameplay stuff that I've done with this game. And some of the most fun I've had this week in completing the whole campaign stuff for the Zexal stuff and the 5D stuff is I was just cycling through the Exodia deck stuff that I've had, the Mill deck stuff, and also I had another deck that I was using that doesn't rely upon any type of major spell cards, right? So, you know how spell cards are used to enhance your monsters or to complement them in terms of maybe powering them up or whatever. I wanted to try an idea to where what if I hardly even used like spell cards and instead relied on a lot of the different trap cards? So I had cards like Imperial Order where you pay like 700 life points or something per turn in order to negate spell effects. And on top of that, I had monsters that could cancel out some bit. Like there's this monster called Spell Canceller. I made an entire deck around the concept of, hey, let's just cancel out spell cards entirely and let's just try to beat the shit out of some duelists, which worked for some stuff. But it also led me to discover that, well, in order for me to do that, I have to consistently make sure that my cards are not destroyed like a turn or something before I can actually activate them. But what I found out is throughout the 356 duels inside this campaign, I have about 25 left, which means I literally have I've literally like played and beat like duelists like 331 times based upon that stuff. And the reason why I'm doing it, it's not just because I want to aim for like a platinum trophy, which eventually I kind of want to do, but at the same point, I discovered something through my PlayStation trophy count, which was kind of mind-boggling to me. I'm exactly at trophy 4,999. So I'm like one away for getting 5,000. And the one trophy I want to get is completing the entirety of the freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution campaign, because I think that would be a major accomplishment, unlocking a trophy for a card game that I've loved literally since I was a teenager and stuff, and then have that sort of thing to where I went through every single freaking challenge that this damn game gave me in this campaign. But another thing I will say is like I played through like the different styles of like decks and stuff, but going to the card shop and then maxing out some of the initial trainers and how much cards they'll give out, I'll kid you not. I maxed the entire card gift, like the card like gift limit or something for the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Like one right now for the whole V-Rain stuff. But they have these different card like unlock stuff, these initial packs you order, not order, but like open through your in-game currency that you earn through playing the game. There are so much cards in this game. I literally hadn't had a chance to go through the GX ones, the 5D ones, the Zexal, like the Arc V ones and stuff. There is literally thousands of cards in this game that even when you go to a card maker, you can make so many different types of decks and strategies and stuff. It's overwhelming. But at the same time, it's awesome because you basically can play this game any kind of way you want within the limit of your card pool. And so it's like, yeah, I decided to do the ones I'm most familiar with, the Exodia deck, the Mill deck, and like stuff I'm used to doing way back when. But if I wanted to do like say Elemental Heroes, or if I want to do just a Dark Magician themed deck, or a Blue Eyes themed deck, or even like a weird Buster Blader like Guy the Fierce Knight deck, you can actually do that because there is a bunch of support for these classic monsters. Like for Dark Magician, even throughout like some of the newer generations of like the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, there is support for like, oh my gosh, there spell and trap cards and stuff that'll help support Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl and stuff, and like new ways to summon, and then like there like all this different types of like support that have came out in recent years that it makes it more fun to go and play a deck with cards you're familiar with, and it's its own type of sub deck, you know. And it's the same with Blue Eyes. It's also the same for like Jinzo. I mean, Jinzo has his own support cards now. It's like Jinzo Returner and Jinzo Jector. I've used those cards before when I was playing Legacy of the Duelist, the original one on PS4. But what I'm saying is, I'm getting close to the end of the tunnel of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I've had like maybe 25 more matches or so to do, and then I'm just completely done with the campaign. And it makes me feel fairly awesome. I'll still have this damn thing on my PS5, obviously, but I'll go back and platinum whenever the hell I want. But yeah, that's I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm pretty much just gonna this is gonna conclude my entire month of just playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Dude. Oh god, it started with the collection and it's ending with beating Legacy of the Collection.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us, guys. So thank you so much for watching and enjoying this. Like I said at the top of the show, the best way to support us is clicking the likes, the follow, subscribes, telling your friends. We hit 500 subscribers on YouTube. Big thank you to everybody out there for doing that for us. We appreciate it. Like I said, we have full-time jobs. We do this because we love it. Podcast goes podcast goes every Sunday. We do live reacts on the YouTube channel. I will be live on YouTube Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Central Time. Probably I'll go up a little bit before that. So check us out on there as well. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share with your friends, all that. Podcast apps, we're on all those. There are links down below if you want quick ways to find us in all these places. But I was your host. I was Tyler.
I've been Colonel Gables. Until next time, everyone, play some Goldman Sachs.
And hey, Gables.
What?
Fat ass white girl.
Bye,
yes,
guys.
Please. Anyway.
Bye, guys.
See you guys. Until next time.